about 10 feet deep for kids and adults to find. Real eggs and non-toxic food coloring were used to avoid negative environmental impacts. 2 snorkelers found 2 golden eggs, which were good for baskets of goodies, including dive trips and accessories.
Look at how beautiful that water is.
Have you ever scubaed?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. And I think I mean, and it's nice because look at how shallow they are, so all the kids can do it too. That's great.
Yeah, it's just crystal clear water.
Very nice.
All right, that is our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, evacuations are still underway for dozens of residents along the Wisconsin River in Columbia County. We'll have a live report from Portage.
Hundreds are dead, including a UW-Madison graduate following the Easter Sunday bombings in Sri Lanka. What his father is saying.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3 Now at 5. A cloudy and mild day with some scattered showers across the area.
Let's get a first look at the weather now. Gary Canolti is on the weather patio. Gary?
Well, we're watching some strong thunderstorms that have been developing over parts of eastern Iowa and northern Illinois and are heading towards southern Wisconsin. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect. One in parts of west central Illinois, another in the northeastern portion of Iowa. Now, if we take a look at hail track over the last couple of hours, those storms have been producing hail up to the size of pennies or even nickels. So right now, they're staying south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. However, there are more showers and thunderstorms to the west in parts of Iowa that'll be heading into southern Wisconsin. The Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms across southern Wisconsin for this evening. I think the main threat will be hail and gusty winds. Not looking at anything widespread. Probably won't even see any kind of a weather watch come out just because of the isolated nature of the thunderstorms. Once the sun goes down, the atmosphere starts to cool off and the threat for severe weather should end. Temperatures started out mild this morning. 56 the overnight low temperature in Madison. High temperatures today have been in the mid to upper 70s across much of southern Wisconsin. However, to the north, temperatures have stayed in the 60s where there have been more showers and some thunderstorms. Current temperatures are still in the 70s, but notice La Crosse, they're at 59 degrees. They've had showers and thunderstorms come through. There's actually a cold front just about crossing the Mississippi River. So once that comes through, that will also put an end to the severe weather threat. Otherwise, look for temperatures to slowly fall into the upper 40s by tomorrow morning. The thunderstorm chances highest this evening. A few showers could linger overnight. And then tomorrow, skies will turn mostly sunny. It should be a cooler day, but still very nice overall with a high temperature of 62. I'll take a look at the prospects for any strong to severe thunderstorms a little bit later in the newscast.
All right, Gary, thank you. Officials are enforcing evacuations along Levee Road. That's in Columbia County and other neighborhoods that are dealing with flooding along the Wisconsin River.
Our Madeline O'Neill has an update live from Portage, where the DNR is keeping a constant eye on the river and the levee system there. Maddie?
Susan and Eric, yeah, that levee system is really key here. Officials tell me it's made up of sand berms built several decades ago, so they're really watching it around the clock. Last night, they noticed more erosion along the Caledonia levee in the Portage area, prompting enforced evacuations on Levee Road, and officials still aren't sure when those residents can go home. While the Black Hawk Drive area in the town of Caledonia isn't actively being evacuated, there are closed roads and houses full of water. Eileen Serpico, who lives in that area, says some of her neighbors can't even get into their houses because they're so flooded, and she's letting 3 flooded out families stay with her.
No, I don't want to leave. And I know a lot of people don't want to leave, but the flooding's just getting scary. You know, you don't know what to expect from year to year.
The Wisconsin River crested here yesterday. It's at about 19.5 feet now, expected to go down about another ½ foot over the rest of today into tomorrow. The Red Cross had set up a shelter here in Portage. They closed that at 4 today because those using it found another place to stay, but they're on standby in case of any more issues, including potential rain bringing up the river here.
Madeline O'Neill reporting live. Maddie, thanks.
Dane County Executive Joe Parisi unveils the Continuous Coverage Program. Now, this is a pilot program designed to help protect rural areas from flooding. It'll incentivize farmers to convert land used for annual row crops such as corn into land planted with perennial grasses That ensures the soil isn't left bare and reduces runoff that can lead to that flooding. Town of Dunkirk farmer James Amara says converting some of his property to managed grazing land will help him reduce labor costs compared to conventional farming.
It's more or less getting it going, and then once the grass is established and everything's going, then it's a lot less labor than the other way, I guess.
$750,000 were included in the county's budget to fund the program, which is estimated to cover the cost of protecting about 300 acres.
Officials have identified the man who died after falling at a Madison construction site last week. The Dane County Medical Examiner says 24-year-old Alexander Canuse of Columbus died shortly after arriving at the hospital. The fall happened Wednesday morning at a residential building on De Loreto Avenue. When police arrived, they found the worker barely breathing with multiple injuries. Officials say there were no witnesses to describe the fall or whether he hit anything before reaching the ground. The death remains under investigation.
A lawsuit has been filed against the widow of the man killed in the Sun Prairie explosion last summer. According to the lawsuit filed April 12th, Ski and Ski LLC filed a lawsuit against Bar House and Abigail Bar. Ski and Ski is the former owner of Bar House, which was destroyed in the explosion in Sun Prairie in July. Abigail's husband, Corey Bar, was also killed. The Bars were buying the business from Ski and Ski, and the lawsuit says there are 22 late payments, over $124,000 due, plus over $13,000 in late penalties and interest. Bar has 20 days after receiving the summons to respond.
Crews responded to a report of a one-vehicle crash in Iowa County this afternoon. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office says first responders were sent to an ambulance rollover around 12:30 on 18151 near the County Road H overpass near Ridgeway. At the time of the crash, the Southwest Health ambulance was taking a patient to a Madison area hospital. The patient was able to continue transport via Barneveld Rescue. One of the paramedics involved in the rollover was taken to a hospital. The crash remains under investigation.
2 people are dead after a crash in Grant County. Deputies say this happened about 2:40 Sunday morning on Route 66 in Wingville Township, just outside Montfort. Officials say a car driven by 50-year-old George McNeese of Independence, Iowa, was attempting to turn and lost control of his vehicle and hit a tree. McNeese and his passenger, 42-year-old Kristen Stratman, were thrown from that vehicle, pronounced dead at the scene. Deputies believe speed was a factor in the crash. It remains under investigation.
And authorities are looking into a fire in Marquette County after one person was found dead in a home. The call came in for the fire on Cass Street in Montello around 2 Saturday afternoon. When firefighters arrived, the structure was engulfed in flames. Deputies say a person was found inside. Investigators are still looking into a cause of death and what ignited the fire. Madison officers say there was an increase once again in stolen cars around Dane County over the weekend. Police say at least 10 vehicles were taken, with some being driven away following home burglaries and others after owners left the vehicles unlocked with the keys inside, including video of this one on Milky Way in Madison early this morning. Officers say they found this stolen car several hours later on Allied Drive. Detectives believe it's the same ring of young people who have been stealing cars in the past.
No one was injured when a plane lost control after landing at the Reedsburg Municipal Airport Saturday afternoon. The Reedsburg Police Department said the pilot of this Cessna 180 lost control after landing. The 65-year-old pilot from Madison was not injured. The plane sustained some minor damage. Police said the FAA took over this investigation.
A Wisconsin native is confirmed dead in the attacks on Easter Sunday in Sri Lanka, according to the CEO of Pearson, an educational publication company. Dieter Kowalski was an employee of Pearson and had arrived in Colombo, Sri Lanka on a business trip. According to the statement from the company, John Fallon, Kowalski had just arrived at his hotel when he was killed in an explosion. Several bombings of churches, luxury hotels, and other sites on Easter killed more than 290 people and wounded hundreds more.
You never expect that you would outlive your son. So it's kind of sad that I did. I always hoped that I would go first, but it didn't happen that way.
Kowalski is originally from Milwaukee, but was living in Denver. He graduated from UW-Madison in 2001.
In more local news today, Assembly Republicans are introducing a package of legislation that calls for placing charging stations for electric vehicles along freeways and for subsidizing rates for consumers who purchase renewable energy. One bill would create a partnership with a private vendor to set up charging stations for electric vehicles along Wisconsin highways. That proposal would use $10 million from settlement dollars the state is set to receive from Volkswagen. Wisconsin is set to receive $67 million over the next decade from the manufacturer to offset pollution. Another bill would require utilities to offer residential customers renewable energy at a premium. The state would cover 50% of the premium.
Get more people, incentivize more people to utilize renewable energy in their home, and will help offset the cost to make it more attractive so more people can enroll and provide that opportunity.
Meanwhile, Democrats introduced legislation they say will enhance Wisconsin's environment. Democratic Representative Chris Taylor of Madison, along with other Democrats, introduced a bill that would ban the use of styrofoam products, and the second bill would allow local municipalities to regulate the use of pesticides.
UW students and community members convened at Monona Terrace today to observe Earth Day. The 13th annual Nelson Institute Earth Day Conference had several breakout sessions and speakers focusing on this year's theme, Imagine and Adapt. Conference organizers say they hope the conference presents environmental topics like climate change and how to address it in a thought-provoking way.
While we are struggling to stop catastrophic kinds of environmental change, which is a good thing to do, we also have to get ready for the future. We're going to have to adapt because the world is going to change on our watch.
The conference kicks off the Nelson Institute for Environmental Studies Year of the Environment, celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Institute and of Earth Day. City of Madison Engineering is working on a plan to make sure that last summer's flooding doesn't happen again.
Amy Reed joins us live from Middleton to explain how the city will do this. Amy?
This section of Middleton got hit pretty hard with the flooding last summer. You can see this pond still hasn't even fully recovered. The boardwalk is still underwater. Tonight, the City of Madison Engineering Division will kick off a series of meetings to try and come up with a plan to make sure this doesn't happen in the future. They're analyzing the infrastructure and water travelway in these watersheds. In order to do that, they want to hear from the people that were affected by that. So the engineering division urges that you show up to this meeting tonight. And that meeting starts in about an hour. It's located at the Asbury United Methodist Church on University Avenue. This is focusing on the Strickers-Mendota watershed, which is where I am now. But if you live in Madison and you were affected by the flood, they still encourage that you come to the meeting tonight. Otherwise, there will be other meetings about these plans in the future. And later tonight, we will put that on our website, channel3000.com. Back to you.
All right, Amy Reed live in Middleton. Amy, thank you. And due to tonight's forecast, Verona Road, the traffic switch there in the construction area will be postponed until Tuesday night. Delays are expected on Verona Road starting Wednesday morning after southbound traffic shifts onto the new southbound interchange ramps from Williamsburg Way to McKee Road. Highway PD. The Verona Road and Williamsburg Way intersection will also partially close starting Wednesday morning. Only right turns in and out of that intersection will be allowed as crews build a bridge there. That is expected to last until sometime in July. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at 5. Gary will have your complete First Alert forecast.
And a Fort Atkinson woman who is known for giving back is asking for the community's help after a bit of bad luck came her way. We'll explain.
And on Wall Street, the Dow off 48.5 to start the week after the three-day holiday weekend break from trading. The Nasdaq gained 17. The S&P was up 3. We'll be right back. We always wish the best karma for those who do good in the community and do good things for others.
But sometimes luck isn't always on their side. Jamie Perez is here to share the story of a woman in Fort Atkinson who people say is selfless, and they were distraught when they learned what happened to her. Jamie?
Right, well, everybody said that she was selfless, and if you are from or live in Fort Atkinson, chances are you know Renee Bernard. If not, you are about to learn. She owns a hair salon there and over the years has proven herself as someone who always does something good for others. But this time, it might be others who need to step in and do something good for her. Here at Studio 8 in Fort Atkinson, styling hair is a labor of love. It's just one of the many ways Renee Bernard likes to give and help things grow. Over the past decade, she's grown friendships here.
Amazing friendships with all of my clients. They're much more than clients. They've become really, really good friends.
She's grown as a business owner.
Very happy. You're going to be on TV. You and me, baby. We've been together for years. We might as well be on TV together.
Good thing I put some makeup on.
And in more recent years, she's grown plants. She started collecting plants and growing some of her own in a greenhouse her husband built for her. But what would she do with all of these plants?
She has always given back to the community.
And that's exactly what she did.
Well, it makes sense. I'm growing all these plants. I have nowhere to go with them. I'm going to look like the crazy plant lady if I don't do something with it.
Every year for the past 5 years, she's hosted a plant sale that does pretty well.
Plant sales raised a little over 26 or 7,000.
All the money goes to the Jefferson County Cancer Coalition, just another one of her labors of love.
She's got a kind heart, and if there's a need in the community, she'll just help the community out.
She's given to charities that benefit veterans and cancer patients over the years with money out of her own pocket. But this year, this well-known plant sale might look a bit different after these plants stopped growing.
It was completely froze. It was awful.
The polar vortex froze all of her plants that she's been growing and collecting throughout the year.
It was awful. Everything was dead, and then you know, that means having to reorder all new soil and all new pots.
A plant sale that seemed to grow larger in size and popularity every year, now stunted. But Renee still has hope for this year, thanks to her colleague, Tammy Beaver.
I was trying to help her out and get the word out so that we could have our annual plant sale for Mother's Day weekend.
Tammy got the word out, and Renee's plant collection has grown back almost in full by donations. So the plant sale will happen.
It's lots of plants, and it's just a lot of fun.
And now it's just up to you to help Renee help others, to keep on giving back in more ways than one.
That we have a phenomenal annual plant sale.
Renee will still take donated plants if you have them. The more she has to sell, the more money she can raise for charity. Of course, you can also help her out with that by actually going to that plant sale and purchasing a plant from her. The sale is on Saturday, May 11th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'll have the exact address online at channel3000.com.
The plant sale's not at the salon. It's at a different location?
It's at a different location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just in time for Mother's Day. Let's hope we can, maybe this story can make it the biggest one she's ever had.
That'd be great.
After what happened. All right, Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie.
Sure. Let's go look at your first alert weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Kinalte joining us with a look at the week ahead, Gary.
Yeah, we're watching some strong thunderstorms that have been developing to our south and to our west. Let's start out by taking a look at visible cloud track. You notice how we had some clearing this afternoon. That allowed the atmosphere to really start turning unstable, and now we're starting to see these strong to severe thunderstorms develop from eastern Iowa into parts of northwestern Illinois. Most of the thunderstorm activity now in eastern Iowa, into far northwestern Illinois, and getting into southwestern Wisconsin. There are severe thunderstorm warnings in effect just south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. Looks like a new warning here just to the south. That is in Joe Davies County and southeastern portions of Dubuque County until 6:15. That storm, if it holds together, will eventually push into the southern portion of Lafayette County, maybe southwestern portions of Greene County between about 6 and 7 o'clock tonight. So be aware, this storm has the potential of producing hail up to the size of pennies, as well as strong straight-line winds to 60 miles per hour. Other severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect down toward Iowa City, and also a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in parts of northern Illinois. Now, this is hail track over the last 2 hours. You can see where the storms have been producing producing hail. These yellow areas, perhaps up to the size of quarters, but for the most part, it's been penny to nickel-sized hail. Also some large hail over parts of north central Illinois. So far, the storms really haven't been moving into southern Wisconsin. A couple of the storms already into southwestern Wisconsin may be producing some small hail. But over the next 30 minutes, the worst of the hail should stay south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. But this is future radar over the next 3 hours showing where these storms will be tracking. And basically, you can see some pretty strong storms moving through Grant County, Iowa, Lafayette counties, and then eventually toward Dane County. And that would be by about 8 o'clock tonight. So because of that, there's the possibility there could be an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm. Storm Prediction Center has us under a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms, with hail and gusty winds being the main threat. Once a cold front comes through by mid to late evening, the severe weather threat will probably come to an end pretty quickly. Otherwise, as we take a look at the tornado probability, that was very low. The high wind probability, about a 5% chance, and also the large hail probability, again, about a 5% chance within 25 miles, about the size of a county from any point. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. This is looking toward the southwest, showing the clouds starting to build up. WISC Skycam also looking toward the southwest, showing those clouds building up over Iowa County. The live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Things are starting to cloud up in the downtown area. High today, a balmy 77, the low temperature at 56. And right now our temperature is at 77 with mostly cloudy skies. Winds are out of the south at 13 miles per hour. Our forecast for tonight calls for mostly cloudy skies, showers, some evening thunderstorms. Again, a possibility for an isolated strong to severe storm through about mid-evening. Low temperature dropping to 47. For tomorrow, skies will turn mostly sunny, while it'll be a cooler day with a high of 62. Still pretty nice overall. As we take a look at future track, the best threat for thunderstorms will be this evening. A few showers could linger overnight. We're down to 47 by morning, but look at how rapidly the skies clear out by tomorrow. High temperatures topping out in the lower 60s. For tomorrow night, those temperatures drop into the upper 30s with clear skies, and then we're back up into the upper 60s as we head into Wednesday. And as far as rainfall amounts are concerned, probably about a ½ inch of rain most areas. Some areas could pick up over an inch in a heavier thunderstorm. 7 to 10 day forecast, 65 for high on Friday, but we had to take the temperatures down for the weekend. Cooler weather with showers, maybe a thunderstorm chance on Saturday, a slight chance of a shower Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, showers or an isolated thunderstorm, then temperatures rebounding back into the 60s toward the end of next week. As we take a look at first alert traffic, we've seen some delays on the Beltline, some problems around Park Street. In fact, that's the live view on the Beltline of Park Street looking toward the east, and that's, you can see the eastbound traffic moving pretty slowly there. There have been some problems with accidents in the area right around Park Street. In fact, right now it says left lane closed eastbound or at Park Street, so keep that in mind. Right now, traffic 21 minutes on the eastbound Beltline from University Avenue to the interstate, 18 minutes going back in the westbound direction, and heading out of Madison, 19 minutes to Janesville on I-3990, 17 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 18 minutes to Sun Prairie on US 151. That's your News 3 Now for Slur Traffic.
Thank you, Gary.
Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, the measles outbreak is reaching numbers not seen in 20 years. We'll have more from a doctor on the front lines fighting the spread of the virus. Do want to mention a breaking weather alert. There's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now in southwestern Sauk County. That will be going until 6 o'clock. Gary will have an update on that in just a moment. Measles cases are approaching numbers in the United States that haven't been seen in 20 years.
The Centers for Disease Control is now reporting 626 cases of measles in 22 states, the second highest number of cases reported since measles was declared eliminated in 2000. Most of the New York cases have occurred in unvaccinated people in Orthodox Jewish communities. Doctors across the country are also fighting an anti-vaccine movement among some parents.
Parents don't really understand the risks of measles because they haven't seen measles, because it has become such a rare disease. But measles does have very serious complications. 1 in 20 children with measles get pneumonia, which, by the way, is the most common cause of death.
Some experts are concerned with Passover this week. There will be an increase in measles cases after the holiday in the coming weeks.
We'll have Gary update that weather warning in just a moment. Stay with us.
Okay, we got a severe thunderstorm warning now for southwestern Sauk County until 6 p.m. Looks like the strongest part of the storm is right around Lone Rock, moving to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. The storm capable of producing hail up to the size of perhaps quarters, and also straight line winds to 60 miles per hour. It'll move basically right through the central portion of Sauk County. And as you can see, these storms are lifting toward the northeast. Other severe thunderstorms south of Dubuque, Iowa, could move into parts of Lafayette and Greene County in the next hour or so. So be prepared for hail and strong winds across much of southern Wisconsin over the next couple of hours.
All right, and Gary will have more updates at the top of the hour or earlier if needed. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next.